Welcome back to the Ride and Laugh podcast. If you love mountain biking, you are in the right place. Picture your last really fun group ride. You're back at the parking lot. The stoke is high. Everyone's talking about bikes, tech, nutrition, drops, berms, jumps. That's what we do here every week on the Ride and Laugh podcast. You love bikes. We love bikes. Let's drop in. Sage, how are you today?
Danny, yo, what a great week. Brother, how are you doing?
I am doing well, man. Life gives us ups and downs, and really I think just like mountain biking, life gives us situations, and then we decide our thoughts about them. And so you can be saying I'm having a good week or I'm having a bad week, but really that's your decision. It's my decision, and I decide I'm having a good week. I decide going with the flow. Everything's happening for me. Let's get into it.
I love it, Danny. I love it. You are absolutely right. I've been going through some stuff. You've been going through some stuff. And yeah, we can take what we want out of those situations. And I'm choosing to also focus on the positives. And you know what? It's kind of working.
Hey, if we believe that everything works out for us, everything's always going to work out for the best for us, right? We look back and this crash or that thing that we labeled as bad or the bike broke or whatever it was, and we labeled as bad. And then you fast forward and it ended up like that. You ended up getting this great lesson and you became a better rider or you got a new bike or this all ended up working out. So we just never know. So to judge it is almost foolhardy. So if we believe everything's always working out for us, what do we care what happens? What does it matter? It's going to work out. We don't need to get all wrapped up in the kind of day-to-day, minute-to-minute, the overthinking, I think is what I'm trying to say.
I think it's tough, Danny, because like in the present moment, it just, it's tough.
I'm not saying it's easy.
I think because in the present moment, it just hurts, right? Like if it's a crash, like if it's a mountain bike crash, like in the present moment, you're like, gosh darn it, this really hurts. And it's hard to be like, hey, present self, this is future self. And it's pretty nice over here. The grass is much greener over here. Like because of that crash, this happened. So it's really hard to trust in the future. Like stay in the present and trust that the future is going to be okay is very hard to do. I find that to be the most challenging part of all of it. But hey.
Well, with mountain biking, certainly the physical element, the actual crashing and now I'm hurt element is like, that is another level of staying present. Like, okay, this is a good thing. This is going to work out for me, and for me, I talk about mantras on when I'm riding the bike. I got mantras in life also, trust that it's all going to work out, trust and believe and flow. I set an intention every day when I wake up. Most days I set an intention and try to kind of lock in there. So I'm a mantra guy on the bike. I'm a mantra guy off the bike, because just like on the bike in my regular life, my thoughts will take me places I don't want to go. And I've just found that if I replace those thoughts with some sort of positive mantra or some sort of positive kind of mindset, it just helps. I'm not pretending that things aren't happening, but it just makes it easier to deal with things when I believe that it's all going to work out for the best. It just kind of takes the edge off.
Yeah. What's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is my life sucks, and blah, 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 blah. And then that just breeds more losses. It just breeds more, again, if I'm going to relate it back to mountain biking, if I have a crash and I let that crash affect the rest of my ride, chances are the rest of my ride is going to suck. If I'm really hard on myself, and this is assuming that you can still ride after your crash. I mean, there are crashes where, ride's over, but sometimes,
good point.
Sometimes you and I will have a crash it's just minor. You get a little scrape or bruise, or maybe it's more of a bruise to the ego. And if I let that affect me, then the rest of the ride, I can guarantee is going to pretty much suck. But if I'm able to let that go and I'm kind to myself and I'm saying, well, you know what? I can learn from this crash and I'm not a bad rider. I am a good rider. You have a better shot of having a much better ride. And we've had that. We've had the opposite of that too, but
it's a fantastic example. I love that you bring it up. It's another one of these just really beautiful synchronicities between mountain biking and life. If you listen to the podcast, you know that Sage and I love how our sport kind of connects with the greater life lessons. And
Yes.
yeah, you can fall and get hurt and be angry about it and have it ruin your day, or you can just get up and be like, okay, this happened. And now how can this recover? And I think a lot of sports have that. I'll tell you, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about this in the last podcast. I was at Desert Trails. I was on the beginner line warming up, and I got a little overconfident, and I ended up landing to flat, overshooting, and lost control. And I went down, and I got this scrape on my elbow that on the YouTube you can see is almost healed. But oh man, are the elbow scrapes? This is why I wear elbow pads. Well, sometimes, because the elbow scrape is just so annoying. It just opens up over and over and over, and I got to wrap it up and go to bed and trying not to get blood on the sheets. I thought I did a really good job. I had it really well wrapped for 4 or 5 nights, and which is really annoying, by the way. Every morning, the scab's coming off again when you're unwrapping it, and I'm trying to air it out. But for my wife's sake, I didn't want to get blood on the sheets. And so day 5, day 6, I'm finally I'm sleeping without it and without the wrap. And then, sure enough, we're changing the sheets and there's blood on the sheets. So I'm sorry, honey. You married a mountain biker. And full disclosure, I was mountain biking when we met. So of course she had no idea what she was getting into.
She knew. She knew.
That was not the story. The story was going to be, she knew I was falling right away. The story was I fell and then the bike wasn't shifting right. And so immediately after I was at Desert Trails, I took it over to the bike shop, and it was time. It hadn't been tuned up in a really long time. And it was time to get these gears, the shifting fixed and everything like that. And while they're looking at it, Jim over at Junction Bike Shop is like, your rear brake pads are totally shot. In fact, all your both brake pads are totally shot. I hadn't looked at it in so long because it's my hardtail, it's my backup bike. I just, and so the bike needed some love, and it wasn't going to the bike shop unless I fell. And so, I got a scrape on my elbow, but if that didn't happen for me, then perhaps something else much worse could have happened. So maybe you get the scrape on your elbow, but maybe it prevents the broken collarbone. You know what I mean? We just don't know. So we can't judge. So, okay. Yeah, it's only a scrape on my elbow. I can deal with this. Thank you.
I would say that had you not gotten the scrape on the elbow and you kept riding worn out brakes, it could have definitely led to a much more serious injury. So yes, gratitude to your fall and to Junction Bike Shop. Fantastic bike shop.
Oh yeah. Junction's great. They do a really good job there. They're really good mechanics. I appreciate them. I was listening to our last podcast, and I talked about my new mantra being aggressively centered, which didn't necessarily work 100%, but I do like it. Oh no. But I did have a fall.
Were you reading? Is that why?
Yeah, you said it was too long, and as I was listening back, and I was like, "You're not using it. This isn't for you."
That's true.
You're assuming that I need to write it down, but no. I mean, it's just something in my mind. I can say, listeners, who else uses mantras? Has anyone messed around with this? It's something relatively new for me. I mean, I've used it before, but I've really locked in more recently. Just because I think so much, I have to replace the thinking with something. Maybe when I'm more evolved, then I can just be present and flow without having to do that. That would be nice, universe. Yeah. But until then, I got to replace the random thoughts with something positive.
Yeah. I often I'll do right before I'm going to do the feature, I'll give it you got this, Sage. And then while I'm on the feature, I don't have a mantra, but I find myself saying, yup, as I'm doing the feature, which again, in my defense, one syllable. Yup, one syllable, bro. That's where it's at. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe two syllables.
I do like a yup. I do. The positive, just the positive word. Yep. You got it. I hear you sometimes without your camera, or you're not recording, and it sounds like you're giving instructions to an audience when you're doing something. It sounds okay. Go here. I'm gonna put my wheel here. It's very calm, and it's like you're a game show host, and you're going down this incredibly sketchy feature, and you're explaining it while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that is because of running the camera all the time. I'm used to doing that now.
Yeah.
I don't think that I've ever
brings you comfort.
Yeah. I don't know if it brings me comfort. It's now part of my thing. That's what I do now. Before I was running the GoPro, I don't think I was talking at all. But you're right. With the GoPro, I find myself explaining the feature, and I actually find it comforting now. There is a comfort to being like, oh, this, what's happening. This is what's happening. I'm talking myself through it. I'm talking the viewers through it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know many people that do that.
No, it's just about to say, I'm thinking like, I don't know. I don't ride with anyone else where I hear their internal dialogue like that. Like even me, like I don't speak that much. I might say my mantras, or you might hear like a, yup, you got it, keep them rolling.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But you don't hear me explaining the feature or what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And a couple pods ago, you kind of laughed at me when I said, if you're leading somebody, that gives you a bump in confidence. So what if we pretend to lead somebody? And you were like, wait, you're pretending that you're leading someone? And I was like, well, maybe just a little bit. Which kind of means I have imaginary friends. Maybe I do. Maybe I have imaginary mountain bike friends. Listener, would you be my imaginary mountain bike friend?
Hey.
Let's name them. Let's name my imaginary mountain bike friend. We got to come up with a name, right?
It better be French. It better be French is all I got to say.
Oh, no, the French hate me. I want my imaginary mountain bike friend to like me. I want to be able to say his name or her name.
Benoit.
Benoit, right? That's my imaginary mountain bike friend. It's got to be Benoit.
Yeah.
And then when I meet a Benoit and they're like, who are you? It's pronounced Benoit. And I'm like, maybe you, but I have a friend named Benoit. I just want you to know. I actually know somebody named
He's
Benoit.
not French. Yeah.
He's an American.
Yes.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Before we went into my imaginary friend, I was going to follow up with your self-talk.
Oh, yeah.
It is interesting. It's actually one of the comments that we got.
Oh, well, hit me.
All right. So we're talking about episode number 16, Don't Pay the Dirt Tax.
Yes.
Party lap secrets, trains, and mountain bike confidence hacks.
Yeah.
And really fun episode. And Terry, our buddy Terry, who actually in the previous episode had mentioned paying the dirt tax. So he kind of inspired the whole title of that episode and part of the conversation. Thank you, Terry. And we were talking about full face helmets and half shells. And Terry wears a full face all the time. He likes his teeth where they are. He apologized if he was giving me any PTSD. And he's not, because Terry, I was wearing a full face when I broke my face.
Hey.
Now I wear a stronger full face. But Terry said, talking about self-talk, also love perspective on how you talk to yourself, Sage. Definitely something I need to begin to practice as well. We can all be kinder and more gracious to ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? In talking through the features, I do that. And sometimes I every so often a negative thing might pop in there, but for the most part, it's you got this, Sage, as I'm coming through it. And as I'm working through the feature, and maybe when I finish, as I said, I might say, yup, or I might just say like, oh man, that was really good. Or you did that really well. I'll literally say that out loud to myself, and it's not a pompous thing. It's not an arrogance thing. It's really just giving myself that verbal pat on the back, and that feels good. And on the converse of that, I have been that person where it's like, dude, you really suck, Sage. And I've heard myself say that to myself, not just in my head, but verbally out loud. And that doesn't feel good. I think it's better, even if you don't do it right, let yourself go, cut yourself a break. And I've done that. I've done that, but like, oh, you know what, Sage, we'll get it next time. I've said that before, or you know what, I know what you did there. It's not a big deal. All these things are way better than the you suck or man, that was terrible. It's not a good way to end anything.
Yeah, it's not the way that we would allow anyone to talk to ourselves or a loved one. We would never talk to anyone like that. Like the self-talk can be like so over the top negative.
Yeah.
And just bringing attention to that and just being like, yeah, that's not okay. I have a question. When you are doing your self-talk, do you find yourself speaking in the first person or the third person? Are you saying, I got this, or you got this?
It's totally
You know what I mean?
third person.
Or
Oh my God, it's totally third person. Yeah, isn't it? If I'm saying my own name,
so you're talking.
Is that third person if I'm saying my own name? You got this, Sage? No,
100%.
that's second person. No, that's second.
Yeah.
No, third would be like,
Oh,
wait. How does it work?
I'm not sure what second person is. First person is
What is second
first person is I.
Yeah, that's right.
Third person is you. I'm not really sure what second person is. Our English majors can comment in or write in RNL1 at Gmail or YouTube comments.
Yeah.
How many people are we?
Yeah, wait. Second person is Benoit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. That's the imaginary friend talking to us.
Who's Benoit? Benoit. My buddies is Benoit. I don't ride with a Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you actually say Sage? You actually like refer to Sage?
Yeah, you got this, Sage. You got this, Sage. I think that's still first person, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third person would be like,
no.
Sage thinks, no.
I think first person is I got this.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so I do. I totally.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're kind of getting into the weeds. Like I'm actually losing interest as we're talking about this, about which person it is. I can only imagine the listeners. Like I could just see them turning their radio dials as if that's the way things work anymore. I'm aging myself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. See what else is on.
Skip.
Is there music playing somewhere?
What is this? Ride in linguistics? Yeah, for sure. Terrible. Yes. Okay. Third person. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the point wasn't just to determine that. I wanted to. So if you are talking to Sage in your mind and you're saying, Sage, you got this. Who are you? You know what I mean? Like who is the talker?
Wow. I imagine you have an answer to this since you asked the question. Yes. What is the answer here?
The answer is I think is probably your true self talking to the mountain bike version of yourself.
Okay.
The version that you think needs the encouragement.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like that when we're truly present, when we're truly flowing and we're truly in the moment, then that third person, that personality goes away. We're just being. We're effortless being, right?
Yeah.
And we still have our personality and we still have our quirks and all those sorts of things. And so that version, I think, gives encouragement, that true self, that true heart self. Anyone that's just ever been present, and mountain biking forces presence. It's one of the things we love about it. If you're not present, you're going to crash or you're not going to have as much fun. You're going to know it. But certainly there's times in life when a child is born or you see a beautiful sunrise or you're at the top of the mountain after a hike. There's just these moments where you're just like, everything's just like here and now and beautiful and present. And the more we access that, especially when we ride, but and in life, the more things flow. That is flow.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that sometimes I'm saying to myself, I got this. I'm really good at this. I'm giving myself encouragement, but it feels that when even the language there, I'm giving myself encouragement.
Yeah.
So there's like there's two beings there, right?
Yeah. There's
only really one.
Is that same voice the same voice that's talking to you before the feature? Like when you're feeling that anxious moment, like when we're doing, a drop for the first time or a jump for the first time, and you're just sitting there and you're having that it's not an argument, but it's like, all right, do I have this? Do I want this? And you're going through all that. Is that the same person? That's.
I think that is your true self. I think when we talk about the breathing techniques that you've mentioned of taking deep breaths and then that final exhale, visualizing it happening, and in that process, knowing whether or not we want to do it, in that process, we are centered, we are our true selves, and that's where intuition comes in. Now we're open to receive. Now we're allowing that intuition saying, yeah, you got this, or I still can't focus. I still can't get present. I'm still not sure. And then that's your intuition saying, not today.
Do you think?
But I think intuition really kind of wraps into all of this as well.
Do you think that
make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. Do you think that saying those things aloud to yourself helps you to make the decision? Like instead of having an internal monologue of, am I ready? Am I ready? You know, and going through all the things of why you should or why you shouldn't, you know, saying it aloud, does that help? You know, maybe that would help you make a decision for yourself. Like instead of being like, well, no one said it, so I'm going to go for it, you know, and it's like, well, no, listen to yourself, listen to what you're saying and how you're saying it. You're physically saying it like, you know, all right, maybe it's not time.
Are you saying we should be having that dialogue out loud, like physically? Like, is that's going to make a difference? Is speaking it out loud?
Maybe it won't. I don't know. I think for me, saying it out loud does make it real in a way. And maybe that's just me, but if I'm saying it out loud, it's like I can't unsay it. It's out there. It's in the ethos. I've let the world know my thoughts, you know, and I can't go back on that.
Oh, you're right. I think you're onto something here, because as you were like first kind of saying it, I was like, you know, we're going to look weird at the top of a feature, like talking to ourselves, you know, like no one's going to want to do that. But really, especially and wearing the action camera, like I really get a sense for this, because you can go back and listen when I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But like, I will quietly say to myself, you totally got this. Aggressively centered.
Yeah.
Like as we're approaching the drop at Mountain Creek, the what's the big one? Is it Covenant?
Yeah. Covenant.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were doing that for the first time of the day a few weeks ago. And I was gonna do it first. And it was like, okay. I'm pretty sure that I spoke out loud to myself. Okay, you got this. You got this. You know the speed, perfectly centered, spot the landing.
That. Yes.
And yeah. It kind of locks it in. It does kind of lock it in. So I think listeners, let us know if you've noticed that. Right and Laugh One at Gmail and YouTube comments.
Lock it in.
The speaking it out loud kind of even lock it in even more. You know, we say it internally.
Yes.
But then we speak it out loud. And certainly when we're around friends, you know, sometimes you just want to hear like Sage, Jeff, I got this, right?
Yes.
You know, you go, yeah, you totally got this.
Can you lock this for me? Yes.
Benoit, so quiet. Man, I need to get a recording of. I got to make recordings so I can ask Benoit questions, and I can hit a button and Benoit will answer.
Yeah.
I almost spoke in a French accent, and I stopped myself because I was like, oh my God, that's going to sound so horrible.
Thank God.
He's not French. He's from the South, but believe it or not, he's got a Southern accent. Yeah.
Benoit?
Cajun, maybe.
Yeah, Benoit.
Benoit.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I like that. All right, awesome. Man, I love this mindset stuff. It's really, I think it's really where the rubber hits the road as far as having fun on bikes, whatever your skill level. And when we're present, we're able to access all the skills we have. And I've always said, listener, Sage, Dan, you know, all of us, we are better riders than we think we are.
Yeah.
Because we're overthinking, we're getting in our way. When we're just flowing, we actually have a lot more skill and ability than we realize.
I love it.
And I notice that all the time when I'm in the flow state and things, you know, things are just like happening. Like, man, I'm pretty good at this. And then there's other times that I'm fearful and, you know, and too much brake and too tight and not centered, and it doesn't feel that way at all. So it's so much just this practice of being present. And I love these conversations. I love the Ride and Laugh podcast.
Yo, we do that on the podcast, Danny. You know, it's like we finish a podcast sometimes, and it's sometimes, you know, right after the podcast, I'll say, you know, I'm not sure that was very good. Or you'll say, I'm not sure that was very good. And, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair because you let one moment.
Because they're all so good.
Well, they are. And the thing is, like, we're saying that because one moment is what you remember from 1 hour of a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing in a ride. You know, you being really hard on your saying that ride was, you know, terrible, or I did that terribly, isn't fair to the rest of the ride and everybody else on the ride, but for the rest of the ride, which was good. Why can't we focus on those things?
Yeah, that's
right.
Oh my gosh, that's a great point. Such a great point. Yeah. It's the negativity bias.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. You can look it up. There's a thing called the negativity bias, and that humans are apt to just look at the worst thing that happened or the worst case scenario. And so we just want to rewire because that's not serving us.
That's right.
And so we just rewire instead of just like focusing on that one time that you washed out. What about all those other features you got? What about all the corners that you made? What about the climb that you crushed, and what about the fun that you did have?
That's right.
So that's really great stuff. On the same episode, our buddy Zan at Sploosh MTB commented in. He was giving us an update on the chest protector, which we talked about quite a while ago at the downhill parks. And he says that he likes it. It breathes well and it inspires more confidence. So thank you for that update. Anyone else that's tried the chest protector? I wore one once at Sunrise. I felt the same thing. I thought that it gave more confidence for as far as the downhill part goes when you're not really having to pedal around.
Yeah.
Why not? And then we were also talking about what you can do on a hardtail. And Zan said, related to what you can't do on a hardtail, realistically, nothing. It's just all at a different pace.
Yeah.
Look at the guys hitting 20-foot drops on dirt jumpers. And I got to tell you, I did a ride at South Mountain on Saturday, I believe, and met some new riders. And there was a guy named Jason who was riding an aggressive hardtail. And we went down the Old Man Trail, and he was going to go down Old Man on that hardtail. It turned out he had to turn around. He didn't have enough time to finish the ride, but he said he's done it before. And I was riding behind the guy. He looked like a shredder. He looked like a really good rider.
Yeah.
But still, that's impressive. Yeah. Crazy impressive.
Yo, that is crazy impressive. That Old Man Trail is on my naughty list. That is not a trail that suits my eye or suits my skills. Although, am I being negative talk to myself? I'm already talking myself out of this trail before I'm even on it.
Yeah. You rode it once and you had an experience that you deemed negative. And then you're just like, okay, I had a negative experience there. I've locked that into my brain and I'm not interested in that trail or any trails like that again.
Terrible.
And that's a really good point. Like if you were present then and open, and it turns out, that trail's available. It's something that you would enjoy. I never would have thought I would enjoy that trail. It is so steep and so loose. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
But it's challenging. Yeah, it's really challenging.
Yeah, I know. I
want to
go ahead.
Well, I have another comment that I want to get into, but since we're talking about the Old Man Trail, I was going to talk about my ride there.
Yeah.
On Saturday, I got to ride with Nathan from Ride Reactive. And if you haven't heard already, check out Ride Reactive. He makes all sorts of mountain bike gear and really cool designs. He makes it all himself. Great awesome dude. Awesome shredder. Awesome rider. And some of his friends, Dustin was there, Jason was there, and we rode with Chris, who we met at Bean Peaks, who's a really good rider as well. And these guys were really good downhillers. We were waiting on the climbs, but they were next level downhillers. And especially Dustin, who was on a single speed full suspension bike, and he's been riding South Mountain forever. And he showed us a line behind the waterfall. Yeah, this tech line that's just next level, and he rode it. And he was pointing out other lines, places you would love this guy because everywhere that you're there should be a line there. He's like, oh, there is a line. There is, and they're we hike back 20 feet, and he was like, people are riding this to this to this, and South Mountain is just it's so gnarly. And yeah, this guy and this guy could ride anything. I mean, he's my second person. He was very impressive.
He's my second person. That's the guy that's in my head.
Oh, okay. So first person is Sage.
Second person is
third person is Sage, but your second person is Dustin.
It's Dustin,
who you've never met.
Yeah. Is there a line here? Yeah, there's a line here. Okay.
Oh, so my second person is probably Benoit then, right?
It has to be. It's got to be Benoit.
Well, but your imaginary friend is actually a real person who you've never met.
Hey, Benoit is a real person, and he happens to be lanky and French.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. Well, yes. The actual Benoit. Yes. My imaginary friend is a pro French downhiller whose name I say wrong.
I understand anything you're saying, dude.
My imaginary friend better another language so they don't have to put up with my shenanigans.
Yeah, he needs a translator. Your second person needs a translator. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I know. This is a if for all the imaginary friends you could get, you should probably get one that at least speaks your language. Yeah. They're living in your head. if I channel my imaginary friend, can I speak French now? I mean, this is my worst language.
Oh boy. Mm.
All right. Well, where I was going with this is the idea was to climb up to the Old Man Trail and then to shred down this like super gnarly, super loose downhill trail. And I was like, I'm going to go in the back. And, you know, because I knew these guys were all super fast. And I started following them down the trail, and they were going fast. And I was riding really well. I felt good.
Yeah.
Nathan said he's been at Sunrise like all summer. Like he's just been doing tech downhill, you know, all summer. And you could tell. I mean, he's such a good rider anyway. But I would say maybe a quarter of the way down, and it's super loose and we're going really fast. And it was just one of those front tire washout moments. If you look at the video, it's a sharp turn and front tire washed out. I don't know if that means I got too far back and the tire got too light, or if I was too far forward and the tire got too heavy. The crash looks worse on video than it actually was.
Yeah,
I didn't really get hurt. I was able to bike. I know it looks really bad. Yeah, it looks like I cracked the camera. Like I go right into a rock. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah,
I just remember like washing out and then just getting up and turn the bike's upside down, like turning the bike back over and continuing to ride.
Yeah,
and I rode well after that. I took a little bit. I did go a little bit slower without anybody in front of me, but afterwards, I thought what was really interesting was. Well, I was talking to Jeff Windsor, and he said that when it gets spicy, he switched to only using his back brake so that he's not squeezing front brake and the fork's diving on him.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your feedback on that. Is that a technique that makes sense to play with?
I do.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I rely less on the front brake when things get a little bit spicy. And if I do touch the front brake, it's very light. I love what Jeff is saying there. That crash, just to add to that crash, because I did watch that crash. And I think what makes it so jarring is because as a viewer, you know, that's watching the footage, your eyes are the camera. Like I pretend that I'm your eyes. So when you go to hit that rock, I was like, oh my God, because I thought it was your face. Yeah, because I just thought it was your face. And I had to take a minute and I was like, oh, wait, no, that was the camera. I thought.
I'm okay. Yeah. Sage, you're okay. You're talking to yourself in the third person. Sage, you're okay. Danny's okay. It was the camera. Yeah. And I don't think the camera even touched the rock, but it goes right up next to it.
My
gosh, you're right. When I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, I scratched my camera. But I've used the camera since then. It's not scratched.
It's amazing.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I used it the rest of the ride.
Yeah, I don't know how you got away with it.
This camera is bulletproof, man.
Yo.
It's got scratches all over the lens, and it's still the DJI. Man, so impressive. It's a really great little camera.
Just a little plug for the DJI, by the way. It does do a very good job of giving you more depth perception because that wide angle. And I'm only saying this because I'm working with I'm working on the Gold Canyon footage from when I visited Arizona. And I'm looking at your climb footage and I'm looking at my climb footage, and the DJI is a little bit more wider and it gives a better perspective of the climb. That's neither here nor there, but since you mentioned DJI, I just wanted to give them a little plug because I do like their cameras.
Camera questions, Ride and Laugh One at Gmail, YouTube comments. You know, we're both running action cameras. Our tip of the week last week also had to do with action cameras. Right. So if you're thinking about doing some recording, then let us know. We're happy to help. So, okay. So are you consciously, when it gets spicy, you're consciously only using rear brake? By spicy, I guess we're talking about like steep tech. Are you like telling yourself not to use the front brake, or is that something that instinctively you figured out that it's like, how did you learn that? How does Jeff learn that? Like, I think Jeff is kind of like, I see on video, he told me before when we were at Holbert, he was like, I can see you squeezing the front brake on this one feature, and the front is diving, and it's causing you to lose balance. You know what I mean? Like I have to ask him, you know, specifically how he kind of figured that out. But it sounds like you just kind of learned this, or is this part of the coaching?
Well, no, but to piggyback on what Jeff was saying, I've also noticed that you are not comfortable with your wheel sliding. And so that may be one of the reasons why you're using the front brake to mitigate some of that sliding, because now you're spreading your stopping power between two wheels instead of relying on one. I don't know why Jeff migrated that way. Did he ride BMX? because BMX only has a back brake.
I don't think so.
Sometimes that's not true.
Oh yeah,
actually,
that's interesting.
I just know that a lot of street BMXers either ride no brake or it's just back brake. Some dirt jumpers are kind of like that too.
Which is crazy to me.
Insane. I don't know why I only use the back brake when it gets spicy, but it is something that I know that I'm doing. It works out better because your back brake is your right hand. At least in America, I know in Britain it's reversed, but in America, my back brake is my right hand, which is my dominant hand. And so I'm able to do a lot more things with my right hand. There's just more muscle. I feel more confident in my right hand. So being able to brake with that and still control the bike makes sense. Whereas on the left hand, I'm just not as precise, I guess. So maybe
more
that's
muscle?
why.
Do you need to? Yeah. There's more muscle in your right hand. I mean, do you just need to shake weight more with your left hand?
No.
You know where this is going.
Oh, I don't you do it.
Oh, I see where
you're. Your second person, Benoit, is like, do it. Do it, Danny. I can't even do a French accent.
Oh man,
do it.
I got a little devil on my shoulder telling me to make all sorts of jokes I'm not supposed to make on this podcast.
It's Benoit. He's yes, no, we're not going to make that joke.
Yeah. Our older listeners know the joke. It doesn't need to be said.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to hear something terrible? And I got scolded for this during my coaching clinic. I still brake with 2 fingers on the right hand.
What?
I know. And on my left hand, I brake with I almost put it up. My middle finger. I brake with my middle finger on my left hand. Yes, it's so weird.
Those are really weird habits
to
still have. Yeah.
I know. Anson had a field
I remember
day with me.
You had mechanical brakes on your early bikes, and then hydraulic brakes came out. Some of these old bike stories, we just sound so old, but yes, Sage and I ran mechanical brakes. Like caliper we were brakes, alive and riding with caliper brakes, but certainly when they switched to disc brakes, and you loved mechanical brakes, you did not want to go to hydraulic.
I loved it.
You had to put so much more pressure on the mechanical brake. No wonder you needed 2 fingers, and you had to work out that right hand exclusively.
I know. It is definitely a carryover because you certainly don't need 2 fingers to operate these brakes. It's just something.
What are you supposed to do? For our newer listeners, what are your fingers supposed to be?
It's 1 finger. You're supposed to, ideally, your pointer finger. Ideally, you want your brake to be like an inch or so, like a thumb's width away from your handle grip. And so that allows you to just get that 1 finger on that lever to kind of pull it. And these days, the levers are shorter and they're curled upwards like that. I don't know if you can see that. It's like curled upward like this. So you can, there's grip there, but back in our day,
for anyone listening on the podcast who's not getting the visual of what a finger's supposed to look like on a brake lever, I just want you to know, normally I say, go back and watch. You're really not missing anything. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's literally Sage holding his finger out. I have a question. If you use the same finger to apply chamois cream, has it ever slipped off of the brake lever during the ride?
No, because I wear gloves.
Yes. We should put gloves on to apply the chamois cream. I think we should have like rubber gloves, and like a medical glove. Yeah.
People at the lot would have a question if you started slapping on medical gloves. They'd be like, wait, what's happening here?
Yes.
What procedure is about to happen? Yes.
Yeah. I think it only makes sense if we are ready to move on from the brake lever talk. And we haven't talked too much about braking. I mean, I think it is really, it's obviously a huge part of mountain biking, letting go of the brakes, how to modulate. I've always been someone who uses both brakes.
Yeah.
I've never been someone who skids and is rear brake only. I've worked on using the rear brake.
Yeah.
And so you're just using the rear brake. It just takes a little bit of speed away instead of using both brakes where you're really slowing down. It's a little bit more, if it's a little comfort braking.
Yeah.
Really, but not going to slow you down that much. Yeah.
Yeah. I was to go back about, you asked, why did you crash? And the thing is with POV footage, it's really hard to see But in my mind, what happens to me when I wipe out on loose terrain, it's because on a flat turn like that, these aren't berms. This is a regular trail. Old Man is a regular trail. Right. There's no berms. And so I really struggle, especially when it's loose, to consciously lean the bike and I stay upright. I often get lost, especially on a trail like Old Man, where there's so much happening. There's so much, it's steep, it's loose. There's rocks everywhere. It's a lot of focus going in different directions. And for me to say, stay upright and lean the bike is something that I'm just not comfortable doing yet. And if I had more time and more exposure to trails like Old Man, maybe I would get better at it. But as of right now, it's not my first go. It's not my first go-to is to lean the bike and I stay upright. It's usually I'm leaning with the bike as if it was a berm. And that's when you wash. Or the other thing that happens is you try and turn the wheel instead of leaning the bike. One of those two things. You go to turn your wheel and it's loose. Nothing happens. Yeah. So
it was a pretty sharp turn. Anyone that's watching on the YouTube, like if you're watching it, it was a pretty sharp turn, I think. Looking at the video back, and like I was going at a pretty good clip, following some really fast riders, and obviously they all made the turn no problem. I think maybe I did turn the wheel, and then it washed out because it was so loose. Maybe I did turn the handlebars.
Yeah, so it wasn't
would
breaking.
Be my guess. Where committing to the lean and that bike body separation. It's one thing to do it when the dirt's good and you're going slow. When you're really going fast, to have that muscle memory. That's why you do coaching. That's why you do practice the hard stuff on easy trails, so that when you're on the hard trail doing hard things, it's muscle memory.
Yeah. And to Jeff's point about the braking, to go back. So if you did turn the wheel,
yes,
and you had your brakes on,
right,
it's the worst possible situation, because what's happening. And the reason why they tell you not to brake in a turn, especially a full stop brake, is you're limiting your traction pad to a very small section of your tire. That section is the only thing that's making contact with whatever the ground in this case. The ground is very loose. So it's just rocks and pebbles. If you don't brake and you're able to keep that traction a little bit more, because now more contact patches making contact with the ground. So instead of one little sliver that's touching and not moving, now it's multiple slivers that are able to buy you traction, buy you time to get the grip that you need.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did a very good job of explaining. In my head, I can visually see it, like what I'm trying to say, but I don't know if I did a very good job verbally.
I think it was a good job. I don't know if it was the first person or third person that was saying it, but essentially, if you're going to lock up the tire, then there's only one piece of tire that's in contact with the ground. Whereas if it's rolling, you're continuing to get more tire. And if there's only one piece of tire, that also means that piece isn't moving. So now that piece is not hooked up. It's like when you're driving a car in the snow or the ice, right? You don't anti-lock brakes. You don't want the tire to lock up. You need the tire to keep moving to keep getting the traction.
Yeah.
So that front tire is everything on a steep downhill. If it keeps rolling and keeps in the direction that you want to go, the rear tire can skid as much as it wants. It'll follow.
Right.
But if you skid the front tire, and now your suspension is also like starting to dive, and then your weight's going forward. It's a recipe for exactly what happened to me. Yeah. So I'm going to try to be aware of that, of not front braking on some of this gnarlier tech that we have out here.
Why can't that be a part of your mantra? Why can't you just say back brake and just, or you don't want to say front brake. Yeah, I think you want to say back brake, but why not just say that when you're on those steep trails? Like just back brake, back brake.
Well, one of the mantras I do use and I talked about is keep them rolling. And sometimes I have the right mantra for a trail and sometimes I don't. That would have been a good one on that trail.
Yeah, keep them
rolling. Because in my mind, that's really kind of what we're talking about is letting go of the brakes. And to keep them rolling, and so I actually envision the wheels continuing to roll, because we talked about that. I do prefer, when I get scared, I do prefer to go really slow. And I've done some really high level slow speed tech, but sometimes you need to be going fast and get off of the brakes. And so when I say keep them rolling and the tires are rolling, whether it's cornering or steepness, the knobs are constantly in the dirt, or sand or whatever the terrain is, giving you traction.
What is it about the slipping in the back, especially? What is it about that makes you uncomfortable? Is like, I know that you don't like that fishtailing feeling.
It's control. I mean, going right back to the beginning of the podcast is sometimes less control is more control.
Yeah.
Letting go of control, trusting it's going to work out, trusting we have the skills. So trusting that when the tire starts to skid, it's going to hook up. I've been able to do it more out here, and you really have to because it's so washy out here. Talk about the universe giving what you need. Like, I didn't like riding where my wheels would slide, and so I moved to the desert where we're riding in sand and kitty litter all the time.
Yeah, right.
So like I'm getting lesson after lesson and how to do that. But yeah, I think it's that feeling of losing control. Listener, let us know, rideandlaugh1@gmail.com and YouTube comments. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And when you do surrender to the fact that, yes, I'll slide, but it's going to be okay. I know that I'm in the right body position. I know that my bike's in the right position and that the tires are going to hook up again. That's really where the magic happens.
If the back wheel is the past, then your front wheel is the future. Like, who cares what's happening with the back wheel? It doesn't matter. It's already happened. Where your front wheel is pointed, where your front wheel is going is where you will be going. So trust in that. Whenever you fishtail, I think about this on the slabs, and I'm going down a slab and my back tires is swinging all over the place. It has no effect unless I'm like completely sideways, but it has no effect on where my front wheel is pointed. And that's the thing. Who cares what your back wheel is doing? That's in the past. And we're done. It's past. It's behind us already. The moment you're thinking about it is already over.
Yeah.
Where your front wheel is pointed. It's literally, yes, quite literally.
It's literally behind us. The back wheel is literally behind us.
Yeah.
The front wheel is the present.
Yep.
You're saying the future because it is also the future, but it's the present. It's happening right now.
It's happening right now, but it's also where you're headed. Yeah. And like you said, the back wheel will follow, so it's not worth thinking about any of that. Let it go.
Oof. So that's a mountain bike wisdom there, man. I love that.
Coaching. Yes.
That is really good. Yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
Only took me an hour of podcasting to get it out of you. Finally. I mean, I know there's gems in there. I got to go mining for.
That was Dustin. It was Dustin in my head.
Yes, Dustin definitely knows how to drift. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
That dude could shred. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. The back tire is in the past. It's behind you. It's literally behind you. It's in the past. Don't worry about it. Keep your front wheel planted and focus on that and rolling and go where you're looking and trust it.
I love it.
Just like life.
That's
just like
long
the trails
mantra.
and just like life.
Yes, that's going to be a lot of handlebar. It's like back wheels in the past, front wheels in the. It's like I can't get through all of it. Yes.
I know. Yeah, that is a long one. Gonna have to figure out how to make a mantra out of that, but it's in that keep them rolling kind of category.
Yes.
But I like the visualization. I really do. That back wheel, it's already done. Like don't worry about it. Don't worry about what already happened. It's really cool, dude. Really good job. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, right then.
Yeah, really resonates with me. I really like that. Yeah.
Danny?
All right. I have another really interesting and funny comment, or we can get into gratitudes. Well, what do you think?
Well, you tell me. Is it a short comment or would this be a
Yes.
Oh.
I think it's a short comment.
Okay.
Well, it's an email from Sheila.
Okay.
And she writes in to rideandlaugh1@gmail.com. First off, you guys are hilarious and I love the podcast. I'm a new rider just this year and I'm totally addicted. Welcome, Sheila.
All right, Sheila.
We live in Anchorage, Alaska, and the trails are literally in our backyard. My friend, and she has a friend who gave her all her intro to mountain biking advice, right? My friend has given me so many wonderful tips for riding. And one of probably a Benoit, hopefully a real friend, not an imaginary friend, because I'd imagine those tips wouldn't be very good. My friend has given me so many wonderful tips for riding, and one of the first was to use chamois cream. And boy, am I thankful. I went without one time and learned my lesson. Don't go without. Female rider, by the way. I'm with you guys. Pre-cream all the way. Do I win a shake weight? Hashtag always cream. Hashtag glass taint.
I tell you what.
Awesome message. Hilarious.
Sheila's getting a shake weight and her friend.
Needed this one.
Yeah. We needed this win.
Yes.
Yeah, both of them getting shake weights. I love it.
We needed this. All the anti-chamois and all the I don't even know what a chamois is, and chamois cream, and
They're
you guys
outta
are
here.
gross. And she did write pre-cream all the way, and I just do want to say for the record that I've never, nor will I ever pre-cream my chamois.
Oh, she's on Team Sage. Yeah. Team Sage is all about the pre-cream.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. No, I recommend when you're thinking about pre-creaming, maybe just like think about baseball stats instead.
Yeah, don't think about
that
Sage.
helps a lot of riders.
Yes, let's not think about Sage when you're pre-creaming.
Take your mind off of you want to think about something else.
I'm sorry, Sheila. Now Sheila's
like
your
pre-creaming problem.
Yeah, Sheila's like, I want out of this bit.
Yeah, she was like, I want out of this team. I want off this team. What did I sign up for?
Yes. Oh boy.
But we got so much chamois cream that I just had to,
our one
pretty much
our one team member
bribe Sheila with a shake weight to tell us that please go ahead and go on the record and say that you use chamois cream. So
yes, that's 3 people. Was awesome. Fantastic. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Sheila. Yes. The chamois cream industry is excited. They're not dead after all. I could see them in the boardroom. The mountain bike division, they got the road division. It's like, it's like 100 people in the road division, and then they go over and then you walk out of the boardroom of the road division, and there's like a little dusty old door that says mountain bike division, and you open it up, and
it's
there's
Dan,
like
Sage,
one person
Sheila.
working part-time in there, cobwebs. Yeah.
Hey.
They can hire another person for the mountain bike division. Yes.
Oh,
it's Dan, Sage, Sheila, and all of our imaginary friends who they all pre-cream. They're all lathered up.
Dustin's like, no, I want out of this one too.
What did I get into here? I don't even want to be this guy's imaginary friend.
Oh boy. All right, my friend. That was a great comment.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Sheila. Mountain Bike Gratitudes of the week. Sage, what you got?
I got a really good one. And this just, it goes back to all of the things that we talk about, mountain biking, and none of those things happen. Well, none of those things on the East Coast happen without my van. My van has taken us to a million different places. I mean, talk about doing slabs. That trip to a Blue Mountain Reserve was amazing. Well, my son, Jack, is graduating, and he is graduating as a mechanic. He has been keeping that van running this whole time, and I'm so grateful and so proud of my son, Jack. He is a fantastic mechanic, and he saved my butt a few times. As you know, that van is pretty old. She's still running, but it takes a lot of love, and he makes sure that she's okay. And I'm really proud of him. He's done a fantastic job. This is his dream, that he wanted to be a mechanic, and he's following his dream. So, hey, following in his daddy's footsteps of following our dreams. I love it. Congratulations, Jack.
Yeah, well, good job. Yeah, good job, Jack. Congratulations, Jack. And yeah, your van is awesome.
Yeah,
it's been on so many mountain bike adventures, and it's been your companion. It's been a great car. We've been in that thing so many times, and you could fit so many bikes and so many people in this Sage's old minivan. It's really fantastic. And then, when it needs it, your son just becomes like a really good mechanic, and he can take care of it. And that's a really cool thing. It's a great van, and awesome on you, Jack. Awesome job doing something that you enjoy, following your passion, getting a training and certified in something that's really a great path. Yeah. And a great future. It's a great skill to have, to be able to fix things, especially cars. That's really cool. So
yeah,
good job, Jackie.
Yes, Danny.
All right. Well, my mountain bike gratitude of the week has to go out to and I could always make it my wife, but I'm going to say my wife and my daughter Ella, because as everyone knows, I've moved here to Arizona, and I'm podcasting out of my office here, and it was just a kind of like a blank slate. This room was just a blank slate, and I'm not really a guy who cares that much about what something looks like. And,
Yeah.
you know, like I could work in a cave. That's what my business partner and I used to always say, like, we could work in caves. Like, we don't really care what things look like. It doesn't affect me that much.
Yeah.
My wife is the opposite. She's really affected by the color of a room and the plants in the room and the vibe of the room. So I still did want the room to look nice. And sure enough, I went to Pennsylvania for that week and I had some work and some rides. And when I came back, the room had been transformed. And anyone can see now, there's mountain bike things behind me. But the room itself has like all this, like just really cool stuff hanging on the walls. And I got my trainer set up and and there's a place to sit when people come in here. And it's just like, yeah, you know, I don't usually care, but it's like, it's really nice in here. It does feel really nice. And they went through the effort to do that and surprise me with it. And when I came home, I was just really blown away by it. And it's a room that I spend a lot of time in. And now I just really do enjoy it that much more. And my wife and my daughter, my family, they're just the most thoughtful, considerate people in the world. And I'm just so blessed to have them in my life. And I'm not surprised that they did it because that's the kind of people that they are. And they love surprises like that. So thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Ella, for going out of your way and putting together my office.
Yo, I got to tell you, I've met Lauren and she is a fantastic interior designer. She has a great eye and I can't see the rest of your room, but I imagine it looks amazing. Love your background. You look so much more professional now, bro. Kudos.
Yes. Yes, these are my imaginary friends. Both of these riders behind me. Those
Benoit
are both,
and Benoit.
Benoit and Benoit. This one actually is me. That's the Birdsboro drop. You recognize that?
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the Ride Abides that's my Instagram handle for anyone that's looking for us on Instagram. Follow the podcast on Instagram, Ride and Laugh, of course, but Trail Sage is on Instagram and the Ride Abides is on Instagram. I mostly post on the Ride and Laugh account now, but
yes. Yeah. All right.
Good stuff.
Yes, sir. Mountain bike tip goes back to van, except that it's something that I keep in my van. I've been waiting on this tip, man, because it is a gold mine, a doozy. I don't know what I'll say. It is a special tip that I've always kept near and dear to my heart. And it is my pesticide
doozy.
It is a gold doozy. It is my pesticide pressure sprayer. And I don't keep pesticides in the car, in the car. But what I do is I fill it with water and it becomes my portable shower. And I've been doing this for, gosh, I don't know, 10 years at this point. It's been fantastic. And every time I show it or someone sees it, they're like, oh my gosh, what a great idea. It's just a 5-gallon jug, but it's a very heavy duty plastic because it's made for pesticides. And you have a pump on the top that pressurizes the water so that when you press the nozzle, which is like a little bit of a hose, it just puts out really nice spray. And you can change the spray to be a very, dialed in spray or a very like misty spray. It's great for cleaning the bikes, Danny. It's great for cleaning wounds. Like how many times have we cleaned out a wound? If you have kids, like that's, oh my gosh. When my kids were little, oh man, I would, they're jumping through puddles and getting muddy and get crap on your shoes. And this thing has just come in handy. I've wanted to brand this thing, with the Trail Sage logo and sell it on my, on my channel. But I just love this thing, Danny. It's come in handy.
It's a really, really good idea. I believe it was your idea. I mean, we've been using those for ages. I don't know, 15 years. I mean, it just goes way back.
Yeah.
I do want to say, get a new one if you're going to put water in it. If it hasn't had any sort of chemical in it, do not use that.
Brand new.
Don't clean it out. And then like, they're pretty cheap. You can get them for like $30. You can get all different size ones. You can get a small one that's like a gallon, 1 or 2 gallons. You can get like a 5-gallon one if you just want to be able to leave it in your car. It is. It's great for getting mud off of the bikes and certainly, cleaning wounds or just kind of like giving yourself a quick spray in the face before if you're going to go to eat afterwards, you have a towel in the car and you can kind of like wash off a little bit, or if you're incredibly muddy, you can use it to wash off. It's really, really come in handy. It's really inexpensive. I don't see many people using it, which is why you've talked about branding it in the past, because it doesn't seem like something that people like. Anytime someone sees us using it, they're like, "Oh, that's a really good idea."
I know. Yeah. By the way, there's a part 2 to this tip, and that is it will roll around because it's cylindrical. So you probably want to bungee it to something. If you're keeping it in your trunk,
yes,
find some kind of a latch that you can bungee this thing. Otherwise, it'll roll all over your car. It's not going to leak, but it is a very annoying thing to have roll around. So yeah, make sure you strap it down somehow or pack it in somewhere.
If you brand it, can we make a square one that doesn't roll for the car? Because they're not made for the back of cars.
Done. Did we just give away this idea? Yo, trademark this. It's trademarked. It's trademarked now. We copyright it right now. You heard it.
Benoit, Dustin, you didn't hear anything about the square pesticide sprayer. What do you call it? We can't call it a pesticide sprayer.
That's what it's called.
You can use it to spray anything, obviously.
It's called a pesticide sprayer. Yeah, if they go to look at, and we'll leave a link. I got mine on Amazon. We'll leave a link to. I don't think they sell my specific one anymore, but there are millions out there. They're like $20, $15. Like they cost nothing. Yeah.
If you're going to get one, use the link in the show notes because that does help the show a little bit.
Yeah. Get like a penny and a half. Absolutely.
Yeah. Or you could just leave us a super thanks, but
hey,
no big deal. You've been listening to the podcast for free for a year and a half, but it's no big deal.
What are we on? 82 episodes? Come on, guys.
All right. Well, listen, everyone, thanks for listening. If you're still listening, you are definitely one of us. You love mountain biking, and we appreciate you. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up, and please give us a 5-star review on your podcast player. If you're on Apple, please actually go in and write us a review. That really helps other people, other riders find us, and other people enjoy the podcast. So, and we are open to super thanks. So if you want to give a super thanks, we're going to have more things coming up. But for right now, we're open to receive. If you're open to give, we appreciate everybody. Thank you for listening. Everyone have a fantastic week and a great week of riding. Ride and laugh.
I'll see everybody.